turn it up?
Yeah.
Have you got this volume there?
You see it?
Yeah. The sort of stuff that you talk about, it's called, do they call it 60?
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Get back! There, you were there.
No!
Okay, now turn it up. Look at what you're doing.
Virtually nothing about yourself.
Okay, do you want me to do that? What you do?
Multitasking.
That's the very worst way to earn money,
Oh, yeah, we want
which is
to
a
hear it.
probable reason so few people have any. You know?
You really?
But we know very little about ourselves. You know, the average person thinks they're their name, or this is them. This isn't me, this is my body. I'm not my name, I'm not my body. Well, there's a whole lot more to you than appears on the surface. And as we get to know it, we take control of our life. Okay. And one thing that you've always talked about, and as we say, back in the early 80s you were talking about this, is the laws of attraction. Talk me through that. Well, the whole universe operates by law. Dr. Werner von Braun said that the natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't have any difficulty sending people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. One of the laws is the law of vibration. Your brain is an electronic switching station. When you think, you activate brain cells, and that sets up a vibration in your body. Your body's a molecular structure. It's a massive energy. There's millions of cells changing every minute. You can photograph the energy leaving the body. Well, when you think, you set up the vibration, whatever you're thinking, and that dictates what you attract. You can only attract energy that's in harmony with you. Right. And you believe that this happens everywhere, that all of these human bodies everywhere are attracting whatever they want, and so you're... Well, see, they're not attracting what they want. They're attracting what they're thinking, and most people are thinking of what they don't want. Really? Well, sure, if a person's in debt, they're thinking debt. They set goals to get out of debt. They'll probably say debt. If you're thinking debt, you're going to attract it. That's the one point every great leader has...
I don't think he's ever heard any of this before.
We become what we think about. So the key is... don't understand it. So the key is then to change what you're thinking. Instead of thinking of yourself surrounded in debt, as some people do, you're saying that you should start to imagine prosperity. Set up an automatic debt repayment program and then focus on wealth. That's what I did. That's what changed my life, and it took me 9 years to figure out what I had done. Right. Because you didn't grow up like this. Hey, listen, until I was 26, I was down the wrong road. I had no formal education. I had no business experience. I got into Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. And I actually did what he was talking about. My income went from $4,000 to $175, and it went over $1 million. I think earning money is one of the simplest things in the world to do. But 1% of the population earns 96% of all the money that's being earned. It's true. And that's because of this visualization that you're talking about. Well, it's part of it. There's an awful lot goes into it. We're programmed. You're programmed the moment you're born. There's genetic conditioning, and then there's environmental conditioning. Think of this. When a baby's born, their mind is wide open. You can teach a baby any language, and some kids learn up to 4 or 5 languages before they go to school. But we don't teach them about yourself. Now, if a child can learn 5 languages, or even 2 languages before going to school, they can learn a whole lot of other things, but we don't teach them. And we don't teach them because we don't know it. You don't learn hardly anything about yourself in school. The teachers don't know much about themselves. We have people walking the streets with what we call a great education, and they can't find work. Staying in school and getting degrees is not an education. Education is drawing something out that's in you. It comes from the Latin educo, meaning to educe, to develop, or to draw from within. Is this slightly anarchist? Thinking of turning education upside down? Education should be turned upside down. It's not education at all. If it was education, why do we have so many people with degrees that can't find work? It's ridiculous. I'm not sure what it's like here in New Zealand, but I know in North America, you've got millions of kids graduating from university. They're up to here in debt for loans to get their education, and they can't even find work to pay their debt. There's something wrong with that system. Yeah. The way that you speak, it really is up there. It's a whole other level of thinking, isn't it?
I love this guy.
There's no question about it. That must earn you some criticisms as well. Well, it does, but that's okay. Yeah. Anything that we see that's different, we have a tendency to criticize or ridicule. What we should do is try and understand it. And as we understand it, everything changes.
I've gone into schools and watched kids go from C and D average to honors almost overnight. I've worked in prisons, in maximum security prisons, and I've watched people change their lives. I've gone into some of the largest insurance companies in the world, raise their sales by hundreds of millions of dollars, just helping the people understand how to shift the paradigm. The paradigm is the program that you were born with. Most of our beliefs go back. We inherit our beliefs.
You can tell me what's
We didn't
answer,
originate
which is
them,
like,
and most of them
off
are.
air, we'll talk about
Here's
this.
my message for all the Kiwis that are watching you this morning. What would you say?
Sit down, clear your mind, ask yourself, what do I really want? Write it down as if you've already got it. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and write it out, and then just think of how to get it, and don't spend any time thinking of why you can't. I guarantee you'll start to move towards it.
I love you. Thank you. Bob Proctor, author, thank you for coming on the show. Good luck with the conference as well.
Thank you, Tammy.
I love the idea that you have control, that if you eliminate the negative and focus on the positive, that you can achieve it. I really like it. I want a paradigm shift.
Hopefully David's
Yeah,
going to be
and it might sound weird, but I've always thought that. I've always thought that as a kid. I realised quite early on that you can choose everything. You can choose to be happy, you can choose to be sad, you can choose the friends that you hang out with, you can choose whether or not you stay in a room if you feel uncomfortable or whether or not you leave that room. And so there's so much choice that you have. And
So basically, if you don't like your current situation, change it.
yeah, because you have the power to choose. Ooh, okay, we're getting all of that.
Is very soon, but
That was good.
what
Shoot,
happened when you
Tamati.
took that was really good. It's 2 new fights.